Topping news tonight, a major labor union meets with potential for industrial action looming. Police arrest 21 Chinese nationals in connection with a large drug seizure, and a man drowns on Grand Bahama. Good evening, folks. I'm Jarino Saunders, and this is your JCN Evening News. Thanks for joining us. As we approach the Labor Day holiday weekend, the first week in June, and as the government prepares to present its new budget this week, the government could be facing massive industrial action. As we hear in this next report, one of the country's major umbrella unions is seemingly preparing for battle. The Bahamas Public Service Union, or the BPSU's president, Kingsley Ferguson, sent out the following clarion call on Sunday for all members of the BPSU and its affiliates and general public service workers to attend an emergency meeting this evening.
This is indeed your president, Kingsley Ferguson, speaking. I make this voice note for the purpose of calling a membership meeting with all public servants at our East Street South location at 6:30 p.m. on Monday evening. I appeal to persons from the General Public Service, from the Public Hospitals Authority, from the Airport Authority, from the University of the Bahamas, and from Antiquities, Monument, and Museums. All those individuals that have outstanding industrial agreements where we find ourselves at an impasse with the government of the Bahamas, please, all roads lead to the BPSU Hall on East Street and Soldier Road.
Love 97 and JCN contacted Mr. Ferguson on Monday morning in an attempt to get a better understanding of what their issues are.
We've called for a meeting with the membership reference to a number of outstanding industrial agreements that have been pending and that we have been in discussions with the government with, but for whatever reason we are unable to get a resolve, along with all the long-standing issues that would have been pending prior to the New Day administration.
I would think the government would be honored to change those for the integrity of our industry and for the integrity of our country and for the safety of our tourists. You have persons rental SD cars. They use them as taxis. The tourists don't know no different because as far as they're concerned, all the plates are the same color. Those individuals engage in criminal activity. They sell drugs to these tourists. Sometimes they end up sexually assaulting the tourists. Now when the tourists report, they report the incident as a taxi driver.
Outstanding matters that may exist, Mr. Ferguson shared this much.
We have issues that stem over from 15 to 20 years. We have the finance and accounting officers. We have issues in relation to the court reporters unit that's been more than 20 years. And so these are the concerns that we have. And since the New Day administration will have taken office, we haven't gotten a resolve on one issue.
Many of the unions openly supported the Progressive Liberal Party leading up to the general elections. There were also some unions that entered into a memorandum of understanding with the then official opposition in terms of addressing their concerns once they had presumably won the government. Mr. Ferguson says while the BPSU did not sign a memorandum of understanding, all unions should be treated the same when it comes to addressing outstanding issues. Presumably, upon hearing the call by the Bahamas Public Service Union President Kingsley Ferguson for all affiliated unions and general public service workers to attend an emergency meeting on Monday evening to chart the way forward after no progress has allegedly been made to address union issues since the new government took over 8 months ago. Fred Mitchell, the minister responsible for foreign affairs and the public service, suggested in his weekly commentary on Monday morning that the unions can have their issues settled without confrontation.
This week, the Minister of Finance presents the government's budget, not the F&M's budget. The budget statement will come on Wednesday, the 25th at 10 a.m. from the House of Assembly. You will be hearing, of course, a lot from the public sector unions about the negotiating process. Please be advised that both the Minister of State, Pierre Glover Roll, and myself have no desire to be in a confrontation on any of these issues. These matters can be solved amicably, just a phone call away, so I look forward to the dialogue on the issues.
Love 97 informed Mr. Ferguson about Minister Mitchell's appeal, and although he agrees that the matters should be resolved without confrontation, Mr. Ferguson says he does not agree with the methods in which the government is handling the union concerns.
While the budget may be read and there may be an indication of something for public servants, you don't just decide what you're going to give public servants. There has to be a dialogue, and then there has to be an agreement. And so that would happen at the table. And so from January to now, we haven't sat with the government to decide on what the increases are going to be and to determine whether or not the long-standing issues are going to be addressed.
Stay tuned to Love 97 and JCN for more news on the impending meeting of unions and what decisions they make on the way forward. Just over $1 million in drugs seized from a cargo vessel moored at the Nassau container port on Sunday morning, and with that, police arresting 21 Chinese nationals. Police press liaison Superintendent Audley Peters telling reporters on the scene a search of the vessel began around 8 a.m. on Sunday. This arrest was the result of a joint operation including the Royal Bahamas Police Force, the United States Department of Homeland Security, the Drug Enforcement Administration, and the Bahamas Department of Customs.
On the arrival of the officers, they deployed the police dogs, and moments later, police dogs alerted their handlers to several flaws and several areas on that vessel. On inspection of those areas, the officers found a quantity of substance believed to be that of cocaine. The total amount was about 68 kilos, which has an estimated street value of $1,300,000. As a result of the fine, 21 persons were taken into custody. These are all Chinese nationals, and they include 20 males and a female. Our robust intelligence have led us to this juncture, and we continue to thank the members of the public and the individuals who are furnishing us with the information, and we act upon it, and so today we have the results that we have here.
According to Superintendent Peters, the vessel left South America, arriving in the Bahamas, and with a number of destinations on its route, he could not say whether the Bahamas would be the final port of call. In the meantime, Superintendent Peters sends this warning to would-be drug smugglers, as there have been a number of large drug busts in the country in recent times.
We are determined to do our part to safeguard our territory. However, we need the assistance of persons on the outside, and we've been partners for over 40 years now with other countries in the eradication of dangerous drugs. Wherever they come, whatever new form they take, we're always educating ourselves, and we're educating members of the public with the various nuances that comes up. What I want to say is that we're always at the forefront. We may be working behind the scenes, however, the team effort always bring success, and today you see the success here, and that will continue to happen because a fist packs a more powerful punch than a finger.
Now, as investigations continue into this incident, Superintendent Peters says the Chinese nationals in custody are being questioned about the origin and final destination of the drugs in order to make a final conclusion. An alleged pool drowning at a home in Grand Bahama leaves an adult male dead. Police on Grand Bahama say officers were called to a residence on Gray's Inn Drive off Sergeant Major Road Sunday evening shortly before 9 p.m. On the arrival of the officers, they found an adult male unresponsive. Initial investigations revealed the victim went outside to the pool, and sometime later his girlfriend went outside to look for him. However, she noticed him submerged at the bottom of the pool. She then sought assistance to pull him from the pool, and CPR was administered. EMS personnel also responded to the call, and following an examination, the male was found to be lifeless. The victim was later transported to the Rand Memorial Hospital, where he was examined by a doctor and officially pronounced dead. Investigations are being continued. Abaco police arresting a male and female over the weekend for possession of an unlicensed firearm, the holding of large sums of counterfeit U.S. currency, and possession of dangerous drugs. The incident occurred in the early morning hours on Sunday, shortly before 4 a.m., when a team of officers from the Marsh Harbor Police Station spotted a Honda-Fit vehicle with dark tints and acting suspiciously. The driver of the vehicle fled at high speed upon noticing the police, and a high-speed chase ensued. During the pursuit, officers observed a silver object being thrown from the vehicle into nearby bushes. Once the vehicle came to a stop, authorities conducted a search of both the occupants and the vehicle, resulting in the finding of counterfeit U.S. currency, a clear plastic wrapping containing a quantity of marijuana, and 2.38 live rounds of ammunition. Police took both the individuals back to the area where the object was thrown and found a silver .357 Magnum revolver that contained 2.38 live rounds and one spent round. The individuals were both taken into police custody. Investigations are ongoing for this matter. And finally, in this segment, the Bahamas continues to see an increase in new COVID-19 infections. The Ministry of Health and Wellness over the weekend reported a total of 126 COVID cases between Friday, May 20th and Saturday, May 21st. 64 cases were confirmed on Friday and another 62 on Saturday. 108 of these cases are here in New Providence, 6 on Grand Bahama and the Barry Islands, 3 cases on Exuma, 2 on Abaco, 1 case on Andros, and 1 case with a location pending. 60 of the recent cases have a 14-day travel history, including 53 from here in the capital. 4 cases on Grand Bahama and 3 cases on Exuma with travel history. Active cases now 666, with 11 people in hospital, 1 of them in intensive care. No deaths were reported. The death toll remains at 810, with 10 deaths under investigation, while a total of 26 people recovered from COVID-19 over the weekend. We'll take a break here, and we'll be right back after these commercials.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Silhouette Boutique Collection.